Hey everybody. I've decided that there's something that's bothering me really bad that I absolutely have to talk about. Okay? So, if you got little ones, don't let them watch this because I'm going to be saying a couple words that they don't need to hear. And so, parental vision advised. um, so, I joined the site Plenty of Fish. And I have learned that some dating etiquette needs to be discussed. So, guys, listen up. There are things that you should do and that you shouldn't do. And so we're gonna discuss that. Okay. So first of all, it is not okay within the first 5 seconds of a conversation to send a lady a picture of your junk. Okay? That is the first and foremost thing I would like to discuss here. Alright, if you're having a discussion with somebody and you're like, oh, so what's your favorite breakfast food? And I'm like, oh, I really like pancakes. Pancakes are awesome. And you're like, I like pancakes too. Here's a picture of my penis. I'm sorry. Were we playing a word association game that I was unaware of, so you decided to say penis because I said pancakes? What? Okay, it is not Animal Planet. Okay? You can't just walk up to the female of your species, waggle your stuff in front of her, and her be like, yes, that is suitable for mating. Let us proceed right now. It's not okay to be like that. Furthermore, it is not okay to get upset at a girl because she politely declines what you're offering. Okay? It reminds me of my mom's murderous cat, Thunder. Okay? Thunder will kill a bird or a baby rabbit or something, and he'll come up to her porch and lay it down like a little offering, and he's like, why aren't you excited? Do you not see what I have brought for you? What? I don't understand. What's wrong? And, my mom was like, oh, that's nice, honey. I'm sure you're very proud of it. Put it away. That's how I feel about it. It's not that I don't appreciate the male form. It's that I'd like to know what's inside your head instead of your pants. It's all right to do that with somebody that you've established a relationship with, that you've established that it's okay with. But it's like they don't have any other qualities, so they want to put their best assets forward first. And if that's your best quality, you need to take up like some ballroom dancing or crochet or something. Get some better qualities. Because if that's it, honey, you're shooting blanks, and there's no pun intended there. So, here, when you first start talking to a girl, you don't do that. You just don't do it. And you get so upset when we decline what you're offering. Or you get on Plenty of Fish and you start talking to somebody for a few minutes, and it's literally like 10 seconds, and they're like, hey, you want to meet up sometime? And I'm like, hey, yeah, I'd like to talk on here a little bit longer, and they're like, oh, you're one of those that doesn't ever meet up with anybody and doesn't ever, take the time to meet up with anybody. Why do you even get on here if you're not going to meet anybody? I've been speaking to you for 5 seconds. I have to know that you're not going to like my skin tone and want to turn me into a lampshade or something, okay? I want to make sure that the next words out of your mouth on our first date's not going to be, it puts the lotion on its skin. So, excuse me for wanting to make sure that you're not a serial killer. And like the first 15 minutes that I was on Plenty of Fish, the very first message that I got, and I want to say that it's not the website's fault that there's all these crazy people. They're just crazy. So I was on there for 15 minutes, and I got this message from this guy, and it said, hey baby, are you ready to get pregnant again? I'm like, really? Has that really worked for you? Honestly, are you seriously like rolling in the embryos right now? Because I think you need to change your game. So I'm like, well, I've had 2 children with 2 completely non-genetic disorders. Are you feeling lucky, punk? Do ya? And that's what I said back to him. And then I spent 45 minutes talking to this guy because he was upset at himself because he was on there to cheat on his wife because she couldn't have any more kids. So he was looking for somebody to reproduce more of him. And I'm like, well, number one, you don't need to make any more of you. So you need to stop that process right now. But I'm like, so you want to kill yourself because you're being a bad person by cheating on your wife, but you can't stop your bad behavior? No. Your behavior is a choice. You're choosing to be a douche canoe. That's not your wife's fault. That's nobody else's fault but your own. So I spent 45 minutes trying to like talk this guy out of committing suicide, and by the end of it, I'm like, just pick a bridge and I will drive you to it so that you can save on gas. Because it's ridiculous the way that men have become these days. It's not just men. It's not just men. So let me go ahead and say it. It's not just men. They are some crazy, loopy, crazy pants women out there. There really are. And there are women out there that you can send them a picture of your junk and they'll be like, where's your address? I'm not one of them. So, when you have in your profile and it says specifically that you're not looking for a hookup or a friend with benefits or something like that, take the time to read it instead of just looking at my pictures. Okay, number one. Number two, here's or number three, whatever number we're on of dating etiquette. When somebody has kids and you're like, let's go on a date. And I'm like, okay, when would you like to go? And they're like, how about right now? And I'm like, oh, I can't. I have to have time to get a sitter. I think that's considerate. Apparently not. They're like, whoa, why don't you bring your child with you? And I'm like, why would I do that? Well, I love children. Well, that's good for you. But why would I bring a temporary father figure into her life when I've only met you today? Like, there's so many things right now that are just making me absolutely bananas. And it makes me want to just, like, jump in a little boat, move to Guam, and sell spatulas out of the back of a wheelbarrow for the rest of my life and take a vow of celibacy. That's how bad it is now. So, I'm about ready to just throw in the towel and just say the heck with it, except for if you're Keanu Reeves. If you're Keanu Reeves and you're into short, thick, humorous girls, but if not, I'm convinced that there are no good men left. It's ridiculous the way that y'all act. And there's no effort put into it either. It's seriously, men think it's the animal kingdom. Like, be a peacock. Don't be a monkey. Don't just waggle your junk in front of a lady and expect her to be like, oh, mine forever. No, be a peacock. Dance for your mate. Show her how you gather food. Whatever you need to do, except for waggle your junk in front of her and expect that to be enough. So, the moral of this story is that you need to be a peacock, not a monkey.